So let me give it a good shake. Cha cha cha. Come on, girl, pick one.
You gotta dig down deep.
Yeah,
It's
get
a
it.
real puzzle.
I want you to find the paragraph.
Oops. From the depths of the jar. Drum roll, please. Thank you. Boy, this is a great one.
Okay.
Why do we use the word up as a suffix?
Because up is positive, right?
Not always.
Well, use it.
This is a pet peeve of my wife. My wife is from another country. She's from Colombia, and she is a Spanish grammar teacher, and she's an interpreter for the school board. So she's constantly questioning me on the inconsistencies of the English language, and I have to always tell her we speak figuratively, not literally. But she said, well, you open up the store, but you close up the store. A couple makes up, but they break up. Why is everything up?
But that's sort of kind of positive, right? Because we wouldn't say we don't close up the store, we close down the store.
But I've heard people say I'm going to close up for the evening.
Yeah, and I've heard people say close down. When I used to work at a place called US Tops in the mall in Sawgrass 2 decades ago, and they would say we're closed down. We're getting ready to close down. We're closing down for the night. We're taking something down.
But I always heard close down was more final. They're
like
when they close down, the business is out of business.
Yeah.
They've Blockbuster closed down.
Yeah.
But to close up, and but to me, that's a great question because it's a catch-all for almost everything.
Yeah.
You break up in a relationship, but then you make up. I messed up, but I fixed it up. I messed up.
Yeah. I don't know. That is a conundrum.
Yeah, it is because up, and Nancy was up, and
is it like a slang? Do you think?
I think so. I'm trying to think of other because it's spur of the moment, but it's used quite often for many things. Batter up in baseball. Batter up. Next batter.
You know, when you said that, I was thinking of
coming up next. Why are things coming up when it's the next one in line? It's coming up. When you say coming along, but we say coming up on our show is such and such. Up is it's a utility word.
That's why I perceive it as positive because
mostly I would say
mostly it's positive. But when you were talking about another word, but then you said like close down, I was thinking of another word that's like up that we really don't have an explanation for. We just use it.
There's many. Oof.
And we were having this conversation the other day, just in general, about is it a phrase or a term? It's a phrase, right?
It's a phrase.
Phrase. And it's kind of like, and you hear me say it all the time, but it's different. It's different. We use that for everything. To start a sentence, it's the middle of the sentence, and it's at the end of the sentence.
Yes.
And then you can use it 8 times in one sentence.
Yes.
And sometimes you don't realize that you're actually using it, But what does it actually mean? What does mean?
I think it's a commonality. I think it's a bridge. Because I've heard say, know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Yeah, you just said it to me. I know what you're saying. I understand English. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's hot today. Know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know what you're saying. And or other words of agreement, when I will say, man, today was a tough day. Tell me about it. Well, I just did. I told you today was a tough day. And I tell them about it, and then they ask me to tell them about it. But these are kind of redundant.
Like agreeable words.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I think it's become, I think, a terrible crutch. And it's a pause. It's that gap between, and really, really good journalists rarely will do that. because they've been trained. But it's the casualness of us in conversation. We talk a lot.
Yeah, I think if you don't use it a lot, or you try to not say it as much, my thing is like, I say that all the time, and it's just a comfortable. That may be the thing. Comfortable. It's a
There you
comfortable
go. Yes.
word that makes you feel like you're having a conversation, like a real, like when people are flowing with each other and they're having this really good conversation, and it's like a agreement word. Agree with me. You agree with me, right? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Come on,
It's a connector.
Yeah, it's like a connector. That word, like, is like that as well.
But I also think like is a lazy way, and I think any good diction coach will tell you you'll be listened to more closely, and you'll be taken more seriously if you pause instead of because that like is saying I'm not ready to talk yet. I'm thinking so hang on, I've almost got it. I'm just
not
about
necessarily.
to get
Not necessarily. I think if you're good at both, you can walk in both worlds, intellectual world
Mhm.
and kind of like the chill, cool world. You can make that work for you. You can make that work for you.
I think if you use it judiciously, carefully.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen to a 13-year-old. I was almost there, and my friends came over, we all went.
Well,
to
they're
the mall.
13. They're
Right.
13.
Right.
I mean, if you're 40 and
But if
polite
those are
is
habits at 13,
then
you ain't good. That's your
into,
speech pattern.
Yeah, they roll in.
And boy, you're not going to be taken seriously at 40.
Yeah.
But if you develop that speech pattern and you're not coached out of it, we all do it. Don't get me wrong. But I think you're better to pause, think about what you're going to say. This lady here, as much as she says that, is a deliberate speaker. When she speaks, you listen because she doesn't mince or waste any words. She speaks directly.
But that's what I mean about it being a comfy word, like a comfortable word. Because when I'm not in a world where I'm doing a speech or I'm having to speak publicly or just somewhere where you have to plan and you have to know exactly what you're saying and strategic, then the likes won't come out. But the moment I get comfortable with you, hey man, I'll say it because it's a comfortable word. It's a conversational
and we're
word.
relaxed.
It's relaxed, just like with if you were doing some kind of speech on TV or just speech in general, you're talking to a class of people that you had to prepare for, you wouldn't write in your speech.
Right.
Right?
That's true.
But let's say you memorize a speech, and now you memorize a whole speech that had no you-knows in it. But now to become more relatable to the audience, you throw a in there, you throw a like in there because it's relatable. It's comfortable.
Very good. Good point taken. Good point. And I think a good speaker might not come off so stuffy.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
we all like a little support. We all do. And that's that you're bringing them in. Yeah. So yes, I think used right. Yes. If you overdo it, it's a turnoff. But yes, good point, Shera. I don't think it should be eliminated, but use it well, and it can be an additive, a nice additive.
Yeah, it shouldn't be dependent on
for
full conversation or for anything professional. It shouldn't be dependent on at all. But if you're in a relaxed setting, if you're, let's say there were two other people sitting here, where just having a casual conversation, I'm sure out of the four of us, two people are going to say like and
Oh, of course.
repeatedly. And that's a comfy kind of comfortable word. You just sit on it. You're having a good time. No one's judging you. No one's judging your speech pattern. You are who you are. That's that kind of word. So maybe up is the same thing.
Very much so. Very much.
Yeah, it doesn't have like a definite up. The word up added to whatever it is, it doesn't have this definite.
Right, and again, it's a utility word. There was a 4-car pileup on 95. Up, 4-car pile up, and that's an accumulation.
Yeah, because I was thinking up, they're piled up, like the cartoon.
Well, they do get kind of squished,
right? They're piled up, or like people say, "Well, let's square up,"
Right.
But what does square up mean? Like your hands are up there, no?
When you square up, now there's another figurative thing. When you square up, we make things even. Sure, I want to square up with you. I owe you $15. I want to square up with you. So make things even. When you square up,
Yeah.
And then of course they say we're square.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to square up, the verb itself, to square up with you means I want to make it right. I want to reconcile it
Right.
and give you what I owe you, or make up that time. Listen, I want to square up. Here's 5 pairs of sneakers. When you square up with someone, you make the plan. You even it up.
Yeah, because the only word that doesn't kind of make sense is breakup, right? Because with make up, it's perceived as positive.
That's right. It should be break apart.
Yeah, break down.
Or break down. Yeah.
Let's break down this relationship.
But and now I hear in more common lingo they say he had a beat down. But we used to say, when I come from, he was beat up. That person was beat up. Someone beat him up, or the car is beat up. He drives a beat up car.
Yeah.
But he got beat up at the game last night. 5 guys beat him up. He was beat up. But now, I guess when it's a singular thing, maybe not. But I hear it was a beat down. That person was, which makes more sense.
Yeah.
A beat down because you're knocked to the ground, whatever. But
yeah.
Beat up, you picture the bruised face and the black eye. Her husband beats her up.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and that's up. Her husband beats her up.
Well, then the theory I was going with was positive, and it was not positive because there's so many ways you can use up and it be negative and positive.
And that's kind of a toss-up. Sorry, folks.